Hello, beautiful person. I'm really glad you're here, and welcome back to Becoming Her, a series about confidence, relationships, travel, and becoming the woman you know you're capable of being. Think of this as your daily big sister reminder, the things I learned the hard way so you don't have to. And today we are talking about something subtle, the shift from insecure energy to grounded energy. Not perfection, not fearlessness, just steadiness. So, insecure energy isn't always obvious. It doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like over explaining yourself, checking your phone repeatedly, rereading messages, overthinking a small comment, or seeking reassurance constantly. It feels like a slight internal panic, like your nervous system is always scanning for threat. And often that threat isn't real, it's imagined rejection, imagined judgment, or imagined abandonment. So when I was a child, I used to get all sorts of comments about my look or the way I speak, or just it was usually my look. And I would look at myself in the mirror and I would actually start to pay more attention to whatever that person said about me. So, for example, if someone told me that I have fat legs, I would do everything to cover my legs. And because in my mind, if one person thought that like my legs were fat, probably everyone else thinks the same way. And sometimes I do the same thing up to this day. I try not to do that, but it's hard when someone tells you that like there's something wrong about you, and you actually look at the mirror and you believe them and you start thinking the same way. I try my best not to do it, but because it happened when I was a child, it's hard not to do it when you're an adult. So insecure energy feels urgent. It needs answers now. It needs validation now. And it needs certainty now. And that urgency creates anxiety. Insecurity usually isn't random. It's learned. If love felt unpredictable, if approval felt conditional, your system learned to stay alert because staying alert felt safe. You became hyper aware of tone changes, of response sometimes, of body language, or of subtle shifts. And while that awareness may have protected you once, it can exhaust you now. So I can actually relate to that from my childhood experiences, because I experienced a lot of difficult situations when I was a child. I would be the kind of person that likes to watch how people speak. I would really watch their body language, and I would really listen to how they speak and what they're saying. And it's very interesting how many people don't even realize what their body language looks like, or that like their tone of voice might cause like negative feelings in other people. It's actually very interesting to watch other people and see how they speak and how they're expressing themselves. When you operate from insecurity long enough, it becomes your baseline. You assume the worst, you over-interpret situations, you prepare for disappointment before it happens. And slowly you disconnect from peace, because peace requires trust, and insecurity struggles with trust. So I'm actually that kind of person that would always prepare for what if something doesn't work out. So, for example, when I was in school and I had an exam, I wouldn't hope for, let's say, like A. I would be always prepared for the disappointment that I will never reach the high marks that I was hoping for. I would also consider that like I'm not good enough, so I will probably get like C or B. And in some subjects it was that way, but let's say, for example, I was always really good at Spanish, and I was always hoping for A, but I was always prepared that I will get like C or B. I was always prepared that things will never work out my way, and it was it's sometimes I still have that kind of problem up to this day, but I try to work on it. And for example, when I applied for jobs, but at the, like in my mind, I was prepared for disappointment. I was prepared that I will not be picked for that job, I will not be invited for the interview, because from my past experiences, I just thought that like it will never happen. And to be honest, living in this state is tiring. It really drains your confidence, your joy, and it also drains your ability to be present. Grounded energy is quiet. It doesn't chase, it doesn't panic, and it doesn't spiral immediately. It pauses, it breathes, and it says, I don't have all the information yet. I don't need to react right now. Or I'll see how this unfolds. Grounded energy trusts timing. It doesn't force clarity, it doesn't demand reassurance, it allows space. And space is uncomfortable at first because you're used to urgency. The shift from insecure to grounded isn't a big moment, it's practice. It's catching yourself before you over explain. It's not double texting when anxiety rises. It's sitting with silence. It's reminding yourself that not everything is a threat. And it's telling yourself, I'm safe, even if this doesn't go how I hope. Grounded energy builds when you stop abandoning yourself during uncertainty, not when uncertainty disappears. Gently ask yourself, where does my insecurity show up most? Is it in dating, friendships, work, online? And what would grounded energy look like in that space? Would it look like saying less, waiting, trusting yourself, or not reacting immediately? So becoming her doesn't mean she never feels insecure. She does, but she doesn't let it drive. She notices it, she regulates it, she stays present, and she understands that not every delay is rejection, not every silence is abandonment, and not every change is danger. She moves slower, she reacts less, and she trusts more. And that steadiness changes everything. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take a deep breath before you move on with your day. Notice where you can choose calm over urgency. You're not behind, you're becoming. Thank you for listening once again, and see you tomorrow.